What up, YouTube? Welcome back to another episode of Moon Rock's Chop Shop. Today, I'm gonna be going over the ride quality difference that I'm experiencing after I swapped my factory springs for the ABAC Pro Kit. Now, I have a few key things to say about lowering your car on springs, which I think are pretty significant. So if you have a Honda Civic Type R, FL5, Type S, Integra, or even Civic of this current generation, so stick around until the end to hear everything I like about the upgrade and everything I hate about the upgrade. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and let's hop in.
Yeah, I stay up. Every day that I arise, I'm way up. Paper chasing on the move, my pace up. Cutting that bitch off just like a pay, cause she wanna make up.
Let's do it. All right, y'all. So as you can see, we're in the Type S. Like I was saying, you know, the car is great still to this day, right? I'm gonna lay out a couple things. So I'll talk about the good things first, right? We're gonna go on this drive, really feel how the car feels. But a couple of the good things that I want to get into, and it does have some performance things as well, but let me start with just this, right? Let's make it down this ramp first. I'm always scared of the curb rashes, so I gotta really make sure, you feel me? I'm in my secret recording location. So let's pull out of here. Oh, there's two cops pulling up too. That's crazy. All right. So the number one thing, which is the positive sides of this upgrade, number one thing is gonna be the attractiveness of the car. Yo, I'm getting so much attention after the drop. Like, people always used to look at the car before I lowered it, but now it's on a whole nother level. Now people on the highway are like breaking their necks like this to see the car, and I'm getting a lot more compliments and things like that too. So the number one thing that happened, or I could say is the most apparent, is how attractive the car has become, even for just like the general populace or the NPCs around. But man, these guys are driving slow, man. I'm trying to bang it. See if I can. Boom. Alright, so yeah. So that's like the number one thing that I've noticed. And then on the positive side, the second thing that I would have to say, and this is more performance oriented, so one of the reasons why I did the upgrade anyways was for the performance, dropping the low center of gravity a little bit lower, you know, having the car stick on the ground a little bit more. So I'm gonna say a couple things. I ain't no scientist or engineer or nothing like that, but I've been around cars and I've been working on cars and modding them and upgrading them for, I guess, like at least half my life at this point. But so when I say this, when I talk about this, if I'm wrong about something, let me know in the comments, or even if you could break it down to me in a more like scientific way, you know, that would be great. I love learning things like that, and also feeling them in real life too. So anyways, with that little disclaimer, I'll say that something positive that I felt by putting on these springs is how much sharper the car has gotten. And when I say sharp, so the area that I live in, there's not too many good areas to take like nice corners and turns like that, but there are a few. I have tested it on those back roads and some of those different areas. You know, late night, you know, maybe when there's not so much traffic or whatever the case is. I will say this, the car feels super sharper, like a lot, like it's clamping down on the ground, which this car always did to begin with. Actually very shocking for a front wheel drive to clamp down on the ground the way this car does, even the first day I drove it. But with that being said, the way it feels now, I feel like it's even stickier. And I'll say one other thing, y'all, and I don't know if you guys are gonna believe me on this, but this is just what I'm feeling, and this is just the experience that I'm having. I think the car is definitely putting the power down to the floor better now. The reason why I'm saying that, so in second gear, this thing, after I did the Honda tune, in second gear, this thing is gonna spin a lot. It's gonna spin like definitely 2,000 to 3,000. Then it's gonna spin again like in the 5,000 to 7,000 range. So in second gear, it used to spin a lot more. Third gear is definitely gonna chirp and spin a little bit in the third gear, but not as much in second, or as in second. Damn, there's so much traffic today, man. I will show you guys kind of how it feels and how it's not really spinning as much anymore. So in my head, really what that means is the lowering the car is putting some kind of, or a harder tension on the wheels to clamp down on the floor and put the power down more directly, which if that is the case, which is what I'm feeling, I think it's amazing. So one of the bends that I was talking about is coming up here. If I can ever get out of traffic and these people give me a hole, and you see I don't really want to get out of second gear either, so I can kind of show. All right, so I'm just gonna let them pass a little bit, give them some space, then I'll kind of rip it if I get the chance. Ready? All right, spinning. Okay, so yeah, so that was second gear, and just now it definitely broke loose twice. It broke loose in second gear, right around the areas where I said, and then it did so again in the same area, in 5,000 to 7,000. But I feel like it's not doing it as much. It was doing it a lot more before I lowered the car. So that's two things that are like a big deal to me, and I think for just those reasons, I'm pretty happy with the upgrade. But let me go into the negatives now. So the negatives, this is probably the part that most people want to hear, right? There is an issue that I'm having, and I don't like it, but at this point I don't think there's anything I can do because it's just the nature of the upgrade. And it's really weird, but the car feels more bouncy now. What I mean by that is not exactly how you would think. So let me tell you like this. This thing will still eat a pothole, okay? Don't recommend going through potholes, but it's gonna eat a pothole. The issue where I'm having is on the humps. Something about the dip, and I haven't really been able to figure it out. I've been taking dips really like slow at different angles just to see, but something about those dips is making the car like bouncy. Even in just the road itself, if it's like a bad area of road or a bump up or a pothole or something, the car eats it. But if the road dips, it just feels bouncy. So that's something that I'm really not happy that the car is doing now, because it wasn't doing that before. Even though the suspension is rather aggressive for a car like this, that's something that happened after I put the ABAC springs on. So, you know, that's a negative, which you win some, you lose some, right? But I'll tell you this, the more important negative to me, and I wonder what you guys are gonna feel about this, so in the chat, drop what you think about this, but ever since I put the springs on, the car does feel more raggedy. Yes, I guess it's the nature of the beast of being a tuner and doing these upgraded mods. But I will say this about Honda and Acura. They made such a solid feeling car. The minute I put the springs on, I can feel, should I say that it's not as high quality? Should I say that it's You know, I'm not really sure, but it just doesn't feel as crispy as it did with the factory springs. And I noticed that I noticed how crispy the car was only when I put the ABAC springs on. I put the ABAC springs on, and despite the positive things that I told you guys before, which are all true, I do feel good about it, and I do like that it's handling better and things like that. Oh, I gotta put some chapstick. You know, us Florida boys ain't ready for this little 65 to 70 degree weather, but we're used to the 90s, you feel me? But anyways, so yeah, despite, you know, those positive things, I do have to say, because that's just real, the car feels more raggedy, but it's just the nature of doing tuner guy stuff, Honda boy stuff, race car guy stuff, however you want to call it. It's gonna happen like that. So, you know, it is what it is. I'm still happy with the car, honestly. I'm still happy with the upgrade. I think, you know, with the right couple of touches, meaning my next few upgrades, is going to get even better. Of course, the car is going to feel even tighter and even more like race car rather than a premium / luxury brand, which is what the car actually does feel like, especially compared to like the Honda Civic Type R or a lot of other cars on the market. So anyways, y'all, those are the things that I just kind of wanted to tell you. The raggedy part is the one that bothers me the most, because you can definitely feel the difference in, I don't know whether you want to call it quality, but it's definitely there. That's going to be it for today's video, y'all. If you guys stayed this long, thanks for staying. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.